Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. Of course, I'm not doing this alone. I'm here with none other than
My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Good morning and good morning. It's good to be here this morning. And I mean, it's midweek already. So
already. It's not just midweek. We're in the last, I think we're in the last leg of the month, closing out the first quarter of the year.
for me, just say we're in salary week.
What did you say?
Just say we're in salary week.
What salary week? Oh yeah, we are in salary week. I didn't even remember.
Come and show me. Because you can't even remember.
I didn't remember because
like you left money for your birthday. So I mean, you're not gonna remember.
I cannot confirm nor deny. I cannot confirm or deny what I did or what I got or did not get. Birthday. No, but I'm not even actually spending money. No, it's not even that. I'm not spending money. I think that whenever I don't have money, right, I'm very gentle. So I'm not thinking about money. But because when there's money, I used to do loud spending. I'm not even gonna lie. My sister says that she knows when I have money. There's a way I behave when I have money. So I think because since February, trying to like save up for my birthday and everything, it's still that same behavior. So I'm like, the only people that make me spend in my house are my children. And whenever I go, money must. So whenever I go to pick them up from school, I'm always thinking about my life because my son is like, "Mommy, go left. We're going to this place. There's a particular supermarket we go. He likes to go." So he's like, "Mommy, go left. No, that way." And if I don't go, he starts wailing. So sometimes I'm like, "You need to cry it out because crying is good for your lungs." Other time, so that's the only time I spend. Right, so I'm here minding my business, and I'm not eating egg roll because I was trying to look snatched. So yeah, so it's not like because I have money. Just that since that February, I've just been on the straight and narrow, minding my business. Anyway, enough chit chat. We are going to just go straight to the headlines this morning, run through them, and then bring on our analysis already here with us, starting with the Punch newspaper. Today, the 25th of March, 2026. Oh, la, la, la. We have.
It just seems like a lot is going on in a lot of the political parties as regards their Congress. You go to APC, you hear one. You go to PDP, you hear another one. PDP wants to was. You come to FDP, you're hearing something else. Then ADC is on the side doing its own. So
too much is going on. You're absolutely correct because I think it started from yesterday. Oh, LP say they are doing primaries. Oh no, they're not doing primaries. Oh, PDP say they're doing primaries. Oh no, we don't know which one of them is doing primaries. Is it the Turaki faction or is it the Wike faction? Like it's just a lot. And besides that, there's even so much going on, even with generally, even with with fuel, with even in the world, it's affecting everything in the world. So it's just a lot. It's just really, really a lot. Okay, Punch. LP postpones Congresses, sets up 46-man convention panel. Why do they need to set up a panel? Why? Anyway, next up we have Dangote NNPC deal hits turbulence over crude shortfall.
All right, heading up to the Guardian. INEC moves to curb forward primaries, campaign spending with new draft rules. Another one says Lagos begins 2026 civil service promotions. Go ahead, Phil. Can you hear me?
Okay, I was trying to sort out the echo. Okay. Next up, we have the This Day newspaper. Malami cries out over seizure of property, says EFCC acting unilaterally and unlawfully. So when I was reading this, apparently, so what was funny for me was that he says they chased his family from his Abuja residence. I was like, but sir, we both know that that's not the only residence that you have. The question is that your primary residence? Is that the place that your family currently lives, or do they live somewhere else?
Like, on record or not?
Yeah, like don't be melodramatic. Don't be dramatic because, yeah, I had this other thing: 7 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner, kind of thing. So just leave it. Next up, we have Niger Delta Chamber targets 5 billion investments, 500,000 jobs. Okay, if they're able to do this, that will be good. But let's wait for it to unfold, because now so million we see, but then the execution of it is another matter entirely.
All right, let's head on to this. No. To Daily Trust.
Daily Trust.
Yeah, Daily Trust, 6 charged with murder of 3 housewives and 6 children. Ha, oh God. 6 of una. Congo killed family of 6. Obi shouldn't have been allowed to contest in 2023, says Justice Salami.
His argument was that, is that when LP had sent the names forward to INEC for, I think, elections or for primaries, I don't remember, Obi's name was in there. His name was entered afterwards. So he says that he should have been disqualified from the beginning. But then we know this is Nigeria where anything can fly. So moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, we have Falana urges Lagos government to develop Makoko waterfront for masses. We are going to get into that this morning. We are on it. Power Minister begs Nigerians over blackout. We shall get into that as well.
Why do you have to stress the we are on it?
They say that they are on it now. Is it today Nadia or something?
And they say give them 2 weeks now, so continue bearing the heat for 2 weeks again.
And that's why we shall talk about it this morning.
Okay. All right, on Premium Times, NHRC demands prosecution of perpetrators of Delta sexual assaults.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Okay. Good.
El-Rufai faces severance pay corruption and cash deposit fraud allegations. The allegations that are going to be coming up on El-Rufai is like when they cover when this one comes up, they cover it, another one comes up. So
do you know how much it is?
Tell you
728, is it 728, 729 million? That's how much he give himself. So I'm not in service anymore. Think about it now. See, imagine I want to leave Women Radio and I'll say I'm going to meet Barnabas, and I say, Barnabas, I'm about to leave, so I'm going to pay myself. No, that's how it sounds. Or maybe when Tone was moved, now is now the chair, and she's no longer the CEO. She says, Women Radio. I'm no longer the MD CEO of Women Radio, so my severance package now is that's. You see how ridiculous it sounds? That's exactly what happened. So sad. Moving on to the Nation newspaper, we have Osun 2026 residents, APC members protest as non-indigents storms community for INEC CVR. Okay, I'm just going to swallow. Ogun 2027, 10 in race for governorship. Yeah. Oh yeah, actually that sounds about right, because Iyabo Obasanjo is vying for that position. Noimat Salako is vying for that position. Yeah. Okay. Who else again for to be first female governor? But Iyabo is vying. I don't know the men. The women are the ones that are important to me. But yeah, so I mean, we shall see, because 10 people.
We shall see. And you know, this has to do with a lot of should I say pedigree? It has to do with,
Ogun State is known for that. Yes.
Yeah, it's quite big when it comes to family names, and all. You could find one particular family like owning the whole town. If you talk about that family, if you talk about that town and you don't mention that family, it's like they are the owner of the town. So you'll find a lot of these names coming from such, having this sort of pedigree. So at the end of the day, we just want somebody that will come and help us take Ogun State forward. Wherever Dakwa Abiodun stopped, you pick it from there and fly with it, not run. We don't even want you to run, fly with it, so that you're able to do a lot and achieve a lot. Do you know that it was after we spoke about after the backlash that Dakwa Abiodun got after one of his statements he made, I think was about a month ago, when he said that we're just backing, all of that. Yeah. So after then, it's like his PR team decided to start putting out the things that he's doing. So you could go to blogs and then you just see, oh, Ogun State, this road in Abeokuta, this road in one corner of Ogun State, this road is this. And that's why they started really now this. So the man is doing all of this and nobody's saying it. But even at that, can we, extend all of this? I know it's gradually one step at a time, one step at a time. So, I mean, they should be able to manage such information well so that people are seeing the work and I'm saying that, okay, all the taxes we're paying is actually showing or it is working. So, yeah, I think just after then we started seeing a lot of things. I'm like, and they will even go and pay bloggers to come and carry it and say, so people can do this. Why are we not doing it before? I'm busy because of elections that around the corner. Anyway, let's head on.
He should pay his PR double because they are working double time.
Working double time. How? It's not the work that they're supposed to be doing before.
Double time. They were meant to do it before now. Somebody
changed the brief. They should not be paid double.
Somebody check the brief.
All right, heading on to the cable newspaper. Police beef up security in Casino Village over planned bandit attack. All right, this is good. I hope that is being maintained until the tension is comes down or is doused. Because at the end of the day, some reports that you hear is that armed forces or security personnel were manning a particular place, and before you know it, they told them to leave. And then the next thing you're hearing is that there was an attack in the place. So who told them to leave in the first place? So I'm hoping that, this actually, they get to maintain this with or without, such plans. All right, another one on the cable says 2 killed, 2 injured as truck crashes into tricycles in Ibadan. Oh, so sorry about this. For the families of those who, were killed in this crash.
Moving on to the Daily Post, we have police rescue 15 abductees in Zamfara. Next up, we have OGSERC begins operations to drive stable electricity, fair pricing. Okay, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. All right, on Tribune, Electoral Act, ADC, LP, NNPP, and others kick against exclusion of certificate forgery. Please, if you want to see Fumi's face, run to YouTube and go and see kind of facial expressions that Fumi is giving. It just gives you like 1,000 words without her saying one thing. Okay, so let's just move on from this certificate forgery. All right, another one on the Tribune says police arrest 3 suspected human parts dealers in Ibadan Kilo Day. What is it? Anyway, this one happens everywhere. It's not just in Ibadan, Sha. It happens everywhere.
It's just unusual to see it in Ibadan. There are certain states that you typically see these kinds of things. So Ibadan, you're like, huh? Yeah.
Is it in Ibadan? I don't think so. Maybe I have a different view of Ibadan, but no.
Maybe because I haven't seen.
I'm not for this kind of news coming from Ibadan. Really, this is not the first time I'm hearing it. It's not the first time I'm saying or hearing this kind of things coming up from Ibadan. So, why I'm even exclamating is that it's just few sentences away from the one we read of killing 2 people. As a result of the crash, so, and now we're seeing, 3 suspected human part dealers, like dealers. Do you understand? Like car dealers. This one's human part dealer.
Human parts dealers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up, we have pen pushing finally today. Sharifa
Ishola sleep at night.
They sleep at night now. What do you mean? How they sleep at night? They sleep very well at night.
These people that they are selling their part. Don't you see this stuff?
No, Nollywood has sold us different things. No, Nollywood has sold us different things. I don't think so. I think there are some people that maybe it does, but for the most part, like when they say, "Oh, daju," like you don't close your mind, you don't chest them. So
it's not the case of let me be sleeping in the night and then I'll be hearing some people crying in my window, or I'll be having bad dreams, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night and then I'll see one particular maybe I don't know because it's all of this that you're getting. Because how do you go ahead and kill another human being, take the person's blood on your head deliberately. You carry it in your hands, and then you go back to bed. You will sit down and butcher that person, and you remove parts.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of heart do you have?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of this one don't pass my mind safe. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Absolutely. Anyway, Sharafa Ishala's governorship ambition receives boost as 11 pressure groups merge to support agenda. Lastly, we have United Kingdom returnee dies in God Abeg. Lagos Ibadan Expressway crash while going to attend wedding ceremony. Isn't the same Lagos Ibadan Expressway that the whole Anthony Joshua crash happened in December?
It is. And do you know what's even making me sad? Oh, we're taking a bit of time on this, but I'm sure that our analyst will say something about. Do you know what is even making me sad about this? Is that a lot of people who return to probably celebrate with family and friends, they come in and they meet the Nigeria that we are even, would I say, we are scared of. Do you get? Yesterday, I was reading a story about a woman. I think this happened a few years back. The woman and her daughter came back to do something. I can't remember what.
The one that they went to the village.
They went to the village, just for them to go to the village, and then
there was like this festival there as well.
Yeah, they came. Jesus. I don't understand. They came to their house. They raped the lady.
No, so they were not allowed to go outside. But the little girl she was curious and was peeping through the window. Then some of the guys saw her, and then it was horrific.
As if that was not enough. After the whole rape incident, they were going back. They said, "Okay, let them just park their small kaya and be going back." On their way, they were still robbers again. And the lady saying that her mom has not recovered from that incident up to date. Now, two of them, so for me, and these are people who just came to celebrate or just do few.
They hadn't been to Nigeria in like 8 years or so,
in Nigeria alone, and see what Nigeria did. Can we be kind to ourselves? Can we
kind to ourselves?
So tell me how people who are, in the diaspora want to come back home and, with one mind, or probably remove some of the horrific stories that they're hearing. Because as long as they're concerned, it's not Delta. As long as they're concerned, it's not Lagos. As long as they're concerned, it's not Imo. It's not Kaduna. It's not it is Nigeria.
Yeah. Well said.
I'm going to Nigeria, and then somebody say, which Nigeria? The same Nigeria that they're raping everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then even you that in Nigeria, you now begin to wonder, why are you saying they're raping everybody? Yeah. But then again, it is one of what do you call it? I think one feminist on X. I think she's very popular on X. Renu somebody. I was on my way to work. I was reading a post where she brought out a number of young Nigerian women who were actually raped and murdered or raped. And that list got to about, I think, 10 or 15. The ones that we know, that's the popular ones that we know. There were names like Ochanya there. There were names like,
the girl on the BRT bus, I think that was 2022 or 2020. That one was really sad.
Inside the church in school, inside the church to read, and then she got raped there, and so all of these cases she brought out, and she was in Nigeria has a rape culture. How did we get to the point where we are now seeing rape culture? Culture is something that we practice, and we are feeling we are deriving joy in that practice.
I think what saddens me, and I know this is so way away from what we want to discuss this morning, is the fact that when you go on social media, men stress me. I'm not going to lie. There's this insensitivity that they give. Like, I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want to turn this into a men versus women thing, but this is just a plea to men to say, and I think we talked about this last week, when your boys are saying, oh, see that girl, make her just touch her like this, that is rape. That is a problematic statement, because why are you saying, oh, look at that babe, see her body fine, I'm just trying to imagine what I'll do to her? What do you mean? Why are you imagining what you want to do to her? when your boys, this is not a matter of, oh, we're just joking. There's no such thing as that kind
No,
of
that
joke.
means if you are given the right opportunity, the right
You will
time,
do it.
you'll do it now.
Yeah. Whether you do it intentionally, well, everything's intentional. Whether you do it you under the influence or not, you will do it. And it's just so sad. And that's why I think we said it on Friday as well. I keep saying it, that every man needs to call his fellow man to order. This is not that I just guy talk. No, call your boys to order, because the lives of human beings are at stake. We're not even, the argument would now be that I get from some men is, oh, what are you going to say about rape, false rape accusations? Let's talk about the rape first. Like, what we see more rape issues, crimes than we see false rape accusations. We're not denying that there are false rape accusations. It is there. Nobody is going to deny that one. But there's more of this. And just call your boys to order. And then if you have boys as children, as nephews, it is your responsibility as a mother, as a father, to teach your boys the right thing. No is no. Consent is key. Don't touch a woman. Ask for permission before you. I've seen men who, even when you take a picture with them, they're like, is it okay if I hold your hand to take the picture? Is it okay if I shake? I've seen very, very few men like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, somebody trained you well, or you are training yourself well, right? But it is like a speck of sand inside the desert or whatever. Like, so I don't know. Let's bring on our analyst, because this matter, it just gets us to be. It gets us to be. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917. You can call us very soon. You can text on WhatsApp us on 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. You can listen to us on our website www.wfm917.com. Let's welcome in our analyst. Good morning, Buki. How are you?
She's looking sharp, proper. Let me give her a
So sharp, proper. Yes, she's done her hair. Buki, whip your hair. I whip my hair back and forth.
That means you did not see it on Tuesday.
No.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, maybe because I didn't see you. Yeah, that may be because I didn't see
even last week.
right,
Yes. Even last week. Yes.
Last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, they were on break last week on Thursday and Friday.
Oh, absolutely.
They were on break last week.
How
are
good
you?
morning. I'm doing great. Thank God. Thank God it's Wednesday. Yep. I mean, when it gets to Wednesday, you know that you're almost done with the week. You're only waiting for Thursday and Friday, and before you know what is happening, Saturday will come, Sunday, the start of another week, and it again. God is good in everything. So how are you all too? I bumped in. When is your birthday?
It was on Sunday. I think you said your husband's one was on Monday. Was it Monday?
So that was why I forgot. Yeah. Oh
no, it's not right. So your husband comes first, so please.
I'm not sure. Did I wish you happy birthday?
It's okay. You can wish me now. I'm still in. It's the month of March.
Yes. Happy birthday in arrears.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you grow in age, you grow in God's wisdom.
Amen.
God adds life to your years, and years to your life. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. You see prayer, Rose. You see this guy prayer before.
Anyway, it's 5 minutes to 8 right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. We'll just go straight into some of the headlines. Don't forget to send us WhatsApp messages. Let's get to hear from you this morning. This is not how we intended the conversation to go this morning anyway, but all right, we carry on.
Okay, before we go on, I don't know why this particular newspaper that is not opening. There was something I wanted to read from that, and it was the president of Philippines declared a state of emergency in Philippines because of the fuel prices. And I said, that's how I'm going to start my show this morning, because I was like, what? Nigeria, you see your mates?
Well, coincidentally, yeah. Is it Dangote that was saying? I think it was Dangote yesterday that was saying that, we might just start embracing work from home. Let's go back to COVID and start working from home because of this. And this same yesterday, here I was talking about how some radio stations right now and plus, the power outage are closing down, or reducing the number of hours,
Downsizing. Yeah.
reducing the number of hours they get to go on air, because no diesel, they boy it don't to cost.
Did you hear about the bank that went down? Somebody said in her history, of going to banks, there was no light in the bank. They said there was that diesel has finished.
Diesel has finished.
Yeah, bank.
Banks, they don't even have windows.
Bank. She said, see darkness. So
the bank is waiting now, then the whole custodian of the money.
Exactly. And I thought that was interesting when I saw that from president of the Philippines. Somebody might argue and say, well, the Philippines is not as big as Nigeria. Please, let's shut it, because even upon still, because the point is, and I kept on complaining about these things in last week or 2 weeks ago when we started saying this thing, that I have not heard the president say ABCD when it comes to ever since this whole fuel situation has come. He said, and this emergency is going to be for a year. Yeah. In the Philippines, yeah, I read it. It's just that Tribune is just opening this morning. I read it this morning with my 2 eye. I took my time to read. I said I was going to. Unfortunately, it's not even opening anymore. The newspaper itself is not opening. Maybe they don't have lights to it.
I know, but we can still talk about it. At least
we can. And the reason why I want to talk about it, because I know that Buki is very big on policy. She's a policy change maker and everything. And I wanted to, because I asked Adeyemi this question, but Adeyemi was dodging me yesterday. So I'm going to ask Buki, because we're seeing other countries. In fact, Indonesia has reduced their times. I think it's now 4 times a week, and they went on to say that as time goes on, they will reduce it from working for going to the office 4 times a week as it gets worse, right? And Indonesia is in the Middle East. So what is wrong with my question to Adeyemi yesterday was, isn't this something that the government should look into? Isn't it something that organizations should look into? Because fuel is increasing. There is no light, and we'll get into light shortly. There is no light. How do people maintain their sanity? How do they maintain, work? You are still asking for productivity from me when there is no light. And we had cited, was it Makinde? Yes, governor of Ogun State, that said he gave 10,000 naira allowance to. I mean, it's not, if you look at it, it's not anything, but it shows that, for me, I was like, it's a thought that counts. Like, we're seeing our mates, literally, it's country to country. It doesn't matter how many years or how many people. We're seeing country to country. We're seeing them move. And interestingly, we had a similar conversation last week with Buki about our government. Like, there's no reassurance, there's no forestalling of these things. I've finished speaking. Yes,
everybody's just looking towards 2027 right now.
Yeah, 27 on my mind.
The attention is going.
Yeah.
Funny story. Yesterday morning, I was on my way to work, and I boarded a bus from what do you call it, Redeem Camp to Arepo. 400. The guy said 500. I said 400. He said enter. I entered. Today, this morning, the same bus. So the same conductor.
It's the only.
And when I saw him this morning, like, Arepo, he said, come and enter. I was like, he was not the one telling me that it's 500. I said, no, but it's 400 I paid yesterday now. He said, nah, auntie, even you safe now. He said, nah, auntie, that's why I just quiet. And
you go, it's true that, because the thing is tricking everybody.
As per yesterday, saving me, like, we forgot to collect the 500. Today, you still
go to collect 500 again.
I just quietly entered. I gave him the 500.
But yes, yes,
I just could not argue. Anyway, go ahead, Buki. Let's hear from you.
Yes, it's a recurring thing that once elections is closed, the time spent on good governance, the time spent on good governance is short. The focus is on how do we ensure we come back, to power. And it's not even just the presidency, it's not even just the governors, even those who legislate, House of everybody, is saying, what, what are the things we need to do? Because they need to put a whole lot of machineries. They need to deploy a lot of resources. They need to strategize. A whole lot is happening at the back. And, you know, the little time they have in governance, it's just what we see, except probably some things have been put on autopilot that continue running. But I like how you started with the Filipino people. They care for their people. They understand what their people are going through. You should not be surprised, even if you don't have any statement from Asurok or whatever it is. Have you forgotten that solar power did there?
Oh, so.
You understand? Maybe you have forgotten. Because for you to know that a whole Asurok, yes, we understand that a whole lot of things have to be done in there, and they cannot afford not to have light in that place. But when they are now saying, you know what, we also want to power all these things with solar, then you should know that it gets as it be. They themselves know that there is a big problem. But then, is that the best way to solve it? Because you have solved it for yourself, you have not solved it for the masses. What are the infrastructure? What are the things that you are doing, even for the alternate power? Was it on Monday? Yes, it was on Monday. We were looking at, you know, renewable energy and, you know, electric vehicles and things like that. Well, let me even talk about the solar issue, you know. And it was amazing because it was so informative and educative on what we can do. God has blessed us with sun. You know that, I mean, if they have the policy around it, you can even harvest the extra that you don't use. You can channel it to the grid, and from there it goes somewhere else. So it's a whole lot of policy issue around it. But are we beginning to think around that? You know, like somebody was saying that, do we even know that someone is already manufacturing the locally, you know, all those solar panels and things like that? That are we also, you know, buying from that? Or, you know, a whole lot is going on there. But what I want to say this morning is, anybody who is there, who loves his or her country, will actually do that. Yes, power has gone up. Thankfully, Nigeria, yes, because we have Dangote and all that. You know, there are some countries that, hey, they don't have the likes of Dangote. They have to bring, and we all know the issue of the war, the effect of the war and all that. So prices have gone up.
Yeah.
So for them, they will look at it that, hey, how do I govern? How do I govern my citizens that, you know, they are okay? And power is key. So they will come up with measures, they'll come up with policies, you know, to say this and this and this and this. I mean, calling for emergencies like, help me. You understand? And then they now begin to make, you know, measures. How do we channel power in? If they have to subsidize, if they have to get aid, whatever it is, they need to do that so that what their citizens are good. So in Nigeria as well, I want to see that even if the government does not do that, I want to see, you know, private people, you know, see how you can actually, you know, help with it. We had come to the fact that working remotely. Okay, look at now. I'm not spending money to come to your place. I'm generally in my house and we're doing this. You understand?
Yeah.
The only thing is that you are running on power, you know. So the alternative is that, okay, are there other things we can do, you know, probably solar or something like that, which people should begin to consider. The next angle now will now be that even if you are now considering it, what is government doing to ensure that people can actually have solar in their houses, you know, inverters in their houses, and they can pay instrumentally? Because that is it. Setting it up, it's capital intensive. But is there a way that it can be structured in such a way that those who have salary, those who have businesses, they can do these things instrumental. Yes, I know some of the firms are doing it. In fact, some of the banks, are already doing things like that. But can we make it bigger? You understand? I mean, just like they did for the student loan, whatever. Can we begin to look at it? Because these are things, these are real things facing us, and then of course those who generate and they have more, they can actually pass it through, another grid where it can serve the other people too. There's a whole lot around it, but bottom line is the people who are governing us, do they love us? That they're able to see through what we are going through and come up with policies around it to help us. That's just...
I mean, very, very, very well said. And when you talked about maybe something as similar as the nail fund, that made a lot of sense to me. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see that. Interestingly, yesterday or this week, there's been a lot of talk on solar power, a lot, especially on social media space. And I remember that people were like, oh, is that supposed to be what the solution is? Shouldn't we be demanding from the government? And somebody had come to say, look, even in the next 10 years, we're never going to solve the problem of light because it's systemic, right? And people were saying we have sun. If we use the sun of the last how many weeks now, this year, it can power something. And I remember that last year, my brother was on this solar. It was like a payment plan. He was paying every month. The only difference was that the payment didn't mean that he would own it eventually. It's like you're paying for something, but then it was a whole
you're renting it.
Yeah, you're renting it. So eventually he was like, this is not sustainable. So he now went on to get his own. But that was a lot of money, right? I don't even have that. And that's
it's capital intensive.
It's very, very capital intensive.
But then it has to power your lights and power fan. I mean, let's just basic.
Yeah.
For those who now say, hey, I also need it to power my fridge,
Yeah.
That's another level. But basic power lights and power this. How many Nigerians, can actually afford it? Yes.
Yeah.
So I know there's a network that actually came up with a low cost one that you can actually use to power just light and just a rechargeable fan. But what I'm saying is that can we be deliberate about it?
Yeah.
Yes, I know businesses who are already doing that. I mentioned I think it's electric vehicle. Yes, that's the name of the company. That it's powering schools, solar and all that. But hey, they had to collect money from the bank. Well, what we're saying is that can we come up with a policy, a framework that an average Nigerian, can actually tap into it and be paying something small, just like we pay NEPA. The tariff of NEPA too is up. These are possibilities that we can look into. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. But then our first headline for this morning, okay, it's still even on the power issue, right? Which is Adelabu, the Minister of Power, apologizes over power outages, pledges recovery in 14 days. And what really struck me about this was that he came out to apologize. That's not something that we get so much from our government, so we have to applaud him to say, oh, okay, he actually came out to apologize, to say, oh, we see what is going on, we're so sorry, he sounded remorseful, right? Interestingly, some people had asked him that, oh, are you still trying to vie for, I think, governorship or something? Like, he said, look, I'm trying to focus on giving people power. And I thought that was admirable, because normally they will lose focus and then now focus on the fact that, oh yeah, it's not fair. We fair contest from governorship, this thing. But he said, I want to apologize to Nigerians officially now, coming from me as the Minister of Power, for this temporary issue that is leading to hardship being experienced, especially during this dry season where there is so much everywhere. Businesses have been affected, schools have been affected, and industries have been affected. It is not our wish to find ourselves in this situation, but it is due to some factors that are actually beyond our control. For me, I will give him, because we don't get apologies. So I cannot even fight. I can't lie. I cannot fight this one. And then he did say that relief is imminent, giving a definitive timeline for improvement. He said in about 2 weeks, we should start seeing improvements in power supply. And I thought this was, really admirable. But at the same time, to go to Buki's point of, alternative power, I think that while we're expecting permanent, well, not permanent solution, a solution to this situation that we found ourselves in is still something that you should look into, isn't it, Buki?
Yes, I know. We are discussing it, and I know that at the government level, because I was in a webinar on Monday talking about renewable energy and things like that, and the person, because he's also in the roundtable conference, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group and all that. So he also came up with the fact that a whole lot of things is happening, in terms of policy making, development and things like that they are proposing to the government. So we want to pray that whatever they want to do, they should do it quick. However, coming back to the apology, yes, it's very, very rare, very, very rare. And I give it to him as well. I only hope that this is from a sincere heart, that it's not a branding thing. Many politicians have brand image makers, right? And they try as much as possible to brand you in the minds of people when they know that you are going for elective posts, so that it will not be said of you that minister of power, this happened and you did not do anything. But at least
but the thing is, so sorry to cut you, Buki, but the thing is, even most of them actually don't care.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And where I am going was the fact that we want consistency. So it's not just this one. You understand? People will now begin to now watch him, that in the next 2 weeks that he has given us, I hope we will see improvement. And if we don't see improvement, for accountability's sake, we'll just still come back to say, oh, I actually promised you 2 weeks, but this and this and this and this and this. We all know the blackout for the past how many weeks?
Yeah.
And if you really look at it, how many times has the grid collapsed? I'm not even looking at 2025. From 2024, if I can count, maybe about 12. 2023, maybe about 8, you understand? So it has been on, even 2022. So that means that on the average, maybe you probably look at about 8 times, between 8 and 10 or thereabout, that the grid collapses annually. What is the issue? What is the issue? Even if they could not resolve it in 2022, what happened in 2023? What happened in 2024? You understand? Now he's saying it has to do with the gas supply. So it's also time to begin to look at it holistically on a larger scale, because almost a huge percentage of what drives the production, of power is from gas. So there was something he said that he tried to manage us. It talked about payments, that they will ensure that there is payments, the payments will continue. There should not be any stoppage concerning the gas suppliers. Mentioned Seplat in it, and talked about repairs. So for me, I was able to pick 2 things: repairs of all the processing plants, and then of course in terms of gas supply. So probably they have been owing, I don't know, because he was not very clear on that. He managed that, and possibly there was no more gas supply for them to power the turbines and things like that. I do not know, but whatever it is, I always say something that as a leader, you are there to solve problems. You're not there to manage. You're there to solve problems. So since he is there, this has been on since 2022. He should solve that problem. He should call a spade and not an agricultural instrument. Yeah, but hey, let's thank him. But beyond their apology, I think the experts, I'm not an expert, but we need to begin to look at it that, okay, are there other ways that we can power the turbines, aside from, we've talked also about alternates, whatever. Can we begin to have, solar farms, in several places where they can generate, and have a structure, around it, and also come up. Okay, well, the man also mentioned that now even for you to install as an installer, you must be certified and things like that, because a whole lot of things will begin to happen now. People who are not certified, people who do not know what to do, they will enter into that market and begin to install, and before you know what is happening, we have fire hazards and things like that. So they're also looking at it from that angle, that you have to be satisfied. So I know a whole lot of things are happening because I joined that webinar and I was able to hear, one or two things that they are doing. But beyond that, I think Adelabu will have to solve this problem. We are looking at it, he said 2 weeks, we are looking at it in 2 weeks. Why? Because it is a whole lot. I don't know if you have been coping well. Do you understand? Because once there is no light, a whole lot of things is standstill.
Oh, absolutely.
Even for those who run businesses. You understand? I mean, you mentioned it, that there's a particular radio station shuts down because by the time you look at it, how much profit are businesses making? You talked about the bank. I am not surprised, because by the time you look at the overheads of that bank, I think it was Rose that said where the money is. That money is not their money.
Not
It's not their money. You understand? They also make profit. And when the expenses is more, before you know what is happening, every branch is a cost center. So when they begin to look at you to say that your own branch, you are always losing money, your expenses is high, compared to what you generate, from lending money and selling other products and things like that. You understand that? They'll begin to look at it that, what, why don't we cut? Possibly they need to begin to look at those areas of solar, which is capital intensive. That's what I said. And then they now need to begin to look at ways of bringing, installing it, but you can now pay over a period of time. So I do not blame businesses, because to be honest, it's a whole lot. Even we that were in the house, you understand, when you look at how much you are spending on fuel, because how
much am I earning? Yeah.
You understand? But by the time you look at the discomfort, you understand, say, Ejo, and all that. Let me just go, for it. But that is when you have. But when you don't have, what do you do? And that was when I said that even architects now will begin to, I challenged them, and I know that some of them are already beginning to look at it on the designs, that
houses. Oh yes.
Yes. And then a whole lot of people have also come up, with low cost. I have not researched it, but I saw a video clip of they mixed water with something, and they put it inside, the PET bottle, and they brought out light, It wasn't in Nigeria. So it was like, okay, if this is actually true, you need to begin to do these things. However, I know that there are lots of researches done at the lowest level, to bring light. What are we doing concerning that? I saw a video clip of someone in church. I think it was water or something, and then he passed it through one or two things and it brought out light. So we also need to begin to look at those low hanging researches. Even for people probably it's just to light up your room or something like that. So a whole lot of researches also have to be done in that. It's a holistic thing, but I know it's possible if you really ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, well said, well said. Rose,
Yeah, it's
any
definitely
messages?
possible. Yes, we have some messages this morning. Let's quickly go through. Mayor from Ikotsun. Mayor, I don't say we'll hear from you small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Prince said, where Prince enter? You don't tell here
Prince
from
not
Prince.
called today. Hi, Prince.
All right. So hot heat and darkness given to Nigeria by a field minister called Adelabu is trying to contest in Oyo State as a governor, just like okay, so I'm just going to leave this because if they come and close us down now, how far?
You
It's
will
not
not be
your-
there, oh, you will not beg for us. So
This can only happen in Nigeria where both the rulers and the citizens are confused. The statement coming from Ayo Salami is not surprising to me because Ayo Salami is one of Tinubu's boys. Goodluck Jonathan retired him by force when he noticed that Ayo Salami was working for Tinubu. Tinubu reclaimed the state and southwest through Ayo Salami when he was appeal court president. So he should remain silent forever. No amount of propaganda will make Tinubu and his followers to come back again by the grace of God. It's not by all this one, it's by us carrying our
my
vote.
sister, oh, hey.
So we can come here and be keypad warriors, but if we don't go out, nothing is gonna
That's
change.
it.
All right, so he goes on to say, "Oh God, arise and trouble those troubling Nigerians." Thank you so much,
Yes.
Mayor from Ikotu Ekpe. Now, heading on to the next one. Good morning to you in the studio. An opposition saying that the electoral should be amended again. I don't just understand this opposition party. They want the delegate system to continue where the highest leader will be declared winner. That system is fraud because if you don't have money, you cannot win. But where every party members will involve in choosing who is the candidate of the party is a welcome idea and it should remain so or by consensus. This way, by consensus, this the way to go. And for Minister of Power, the level is on his own. And for President Trump, who succeeded in destroying world economy and also create unrest across the globe, across
Right on
global,
to you, sir.
God will reward him according to his actions. Additional was you from Ikorodu. Thank you so much, Additional was you from Ikorodu. All right, Olusoga Jai from Odonla Ikorodu. The power minister apologizing is a step in the right direction, but what follows after the apology is what matters. Since he has admitted the situation to be beyond his control, resignation should follow so that a more competent hand is brought to his seat.
Oh,
Still holding on to the seat means that his apology is not a sincere
so
one.
you better hold on to the apology that you collected like this. That
Wow. All right. So
apology where we know they see. Hey.
those are the messages we have this morning.
Okay. Let's see if we can quickly touch on the last headline, Rose.
Our time is fast. All right.
He's gone. Hey, wait, he's gone, no.
Yeah, time is gone. Hello, good
Yeah.
morning.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody.
I've been calling this line. Don't pick this line.
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, so sorry.
The other one is not going through.
Oh.
I saw the way Madam Beauty has balanced everything. I've been listening to her. I believe what she said. And I don't know why people like they cannot be in power. This type of women, when you are talking about women, it's not any other women. You go the same women, they do the same thing that men are doing. When women who live in Nigeria, who go there, is it the apology is right? We want to contest the election. Yeah, nothing has changed in the power. Let's start in there. You don't exist, not supposed. I don't need his apology. We like this. Can't like to work since you go there. This is what you are doing. Most of apart from the that in charge of passports. You get all do what you're supposed to do in Nigeria. Sometimes we say president. Yes, president, but they appointed some people to be in this. Why are they not doing it? If you do it right, what can we try to say that? This is something we share to the government. Go not to this, and that's I think today. Why can't they give us free buses? Not to say that's a global something because they don't. All of them don't have Nigeria. They have between and among them. What is it in this world? Where they keep on gathering money? If you let your Mustafa go to governor to one day you do this one, and if they do anything, they will not get away from God. Even people that have the fear of God, do something. See, people are dying, people are business are coming out to apologize. And if some of us together we do the same thing. That is it. We're not true in Nigeria, we do all this. We should learn to do the right thing. So that Nigeria will change. If people are doing the right thing and praying, Nigeria will not change you. Without the on us. Nigeria will be great. God bless you, God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling. All right, Fumi, I think we'll just wrap it up here because time done cocoa finish.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, just
I
think Buki wants to say something.
Yeah, I want to say something. You know, we pray that the people who are there, Adelabu and his team members, are hearing us. We want them to solve the problem. That is why they are there. I remember he said that it was beyond his control. Nigerians don't want to hear that.
No.
You know, if it's beyond your control, what does that mean? It does that mean that you lack the capacity, right? You're talking about 2 weeks. And I also remember that even past, they've always been talking about, you know, short term. You know, you can fix a pipeline for 2 weeks. Let's look at it. But we are talking about a broken power system, which cannot be fixed in 2 weeks. And that is why you keep seeing this thing coming back, outrages. And so if it's an issue of payment, you know, for gas supply, I've mentioned that, they need to look at it. And then, of course, transmitting it as well, that also has issues. So it's a whole lot of system, but can we begin to look at alternatives? That's just what I wanted to ramp in again. You know, that you have said 2 weeks, so let us mark the 2 weeks. We have to come back and discuss it. What has it done? And that's why I said I hope this is not a brand image thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you too.
So much.
Definitely, because it almost sounds like this thing is above me. But when you were looking for the job to do, you told us that you will be able to do whatever it takes. So now that you have reached there, you're not saying that is which one is above you? Above you. So if I go to booking, I book you, I'm seeking for a job, and then Bookie says, okay, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'll tell Bookie, I can do this one, but you see this one is above me, I cannot do it. Tell me that Bookie.
And they have promised us they want to ramp up from 4,000 to 6,000 to 6,000 megawatts, and they've been there. Ordinary Ghana, it's the same megawatt, and they don't have fluctuations like this. South Africa, that is even smaller than us in population, they have 20,000 megawatts. So what they have not been able to ramp up.
And we're still supplying other people like
the one that we have, But meanwhile, because of the contractual, they are still supplying Cameroon, Benin, and whatever. I think there are about 3 countries, right? They have no choice. They have to keep supplying that. So the issue is, well, yes, I know they have signed all that, but then the people back home are suffering.
Okay. Now here we go. Just say bye-bye. Thank you so much, Buki, for coming on the Daily News Review this morning, and to each and every one of you who tuned in to listen to us. Tomorrow is another day. We'll be here, God's willing, at 7:30. Oh, wow. Okay. Rachel is already standing. She's telling me to leave. Okay. You all have a great day. For me, let's meet up again tomorrow, God's willing. My name is Rosie Saiser, and that's the voice of Olufumi J. We'll be here by God's grace tomorrow at 7:30. Do you want to enjoy the day? Stay with us.
Rachel, wait now.
Rachel, don't get why are you
Now, wow.
Coming up at 9 is the news, and at 9:05 is her lens. We'll be here to take you on her lens. Good morning.
My Nigeria, your Nigeria, our Nigeria. Together, we rise as one nation, one people for a brighter tomorrow.